UK doctors told not to discuss PPE shortages.
Here's a summary of the article.
Some NHS managers have tried to stop doctors speaking publicly about shortages of personal protective equipment, the BBC has been told. Newsnight has seen evidence of pressure being applied to doctors to not share concerns they have about PPE. A newsletter sent out to staff at one trust suggested subjects for tweets, such as thanking staff for their hard work, paying tribute to retired NHS staff who had returned to the workforce, and retweeting posts from the trust's account. One doctor who had posted concerns about PPE shortages online spoke to BBC Newsnight anonymously, for fear of reprisal from his hospital. Another doctor told the programme they were called into a meeting with senior NHS managers after speaking to the press about a lack of PPE. They said they were told by their manager that if they continued to speak out they would get a reputation and find it hard to get a job at that trust or others in the region. The doctor said, "I was told we need positive messaging that suggested everyone in the NHS is working very hard, we are doing our best in the pandemic. I was told this is what we need to be putting out, not negative stories." These are people who had tried the right channels. These are people genuinely raising concerns who went to the people who should have listened to them and felt either they couldn't raise a concern or they weren't listened to. Conservative MP and chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group for Whistleblowing, Mary Robinson, said, "If we don't listen to the concerns of people on the front line, we don't have the right tools to deal with issues like PPE shortages."
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Now I work for the NHS at a busy hospital and they have been open and honest with us regarding the struggle to source PPE, but we haven't gone without yet. So I'm always skeptical about the source of these headlines when it says the BBC has been told or an anonymous doctor. It just reminds me of Sky News when they say sources close to Sky reporters. In other words, they're desperate for headlines.
During the initial phase in my current job, we had daily updated guidance on the proper PPE for each clinical setting from FE. The FE guidance was led by what stocks were present. Not every hospital or every clinical department would have the same shortages. Others were given surgical masks in low-risk areas. I became symptomatic after treating low-risk patients without PPE, following FE guidance.
I said I was skeptical about the sources in the article. Maybe we have been lucky. I'm going to stop commenting now because I'm getting a lot of hostile messages and responses.
I'm sorry that messages have been hostile, and I hope that mine doesn't come across that way. If so, I am really sorry. It was not intended to be hostile, just to say that our unique experiences are just that. Please don't dwell on the hostility. I hope you have a good weekend.
Well, openly saying, "This is fake news, I'm a source," when openly being ignorant and not deleting, editing the comment, because karma, should be construed as offensive. Why waste our time reading it? It's like, get over yourself. Not you, I mean. You're tremendously kind and patient.
Greater than, it specified that staff were to avoid commenting on political issues, such as PPE. What M8.
PPE shortage is a political matter. Oh, I had no idea.
You're a number when you're born. And just a number when we die.
Yeah, that'll help the shortages. Can they talk about oversupply of medical persons to PPE ratio though?
It reminds me of that scene from Enemy Street: The Gates. You get a gun, you get ammo. When he gets shot you pick up gun.
Didn't BBC had similar article about Russian doctors a few weeks ago? People were commenting about Russia being a police state run by a dictator.
Difference is you don't get pushed out a window in the West. In fact,
Greater than, the Department of Health said no one should be prevented from speaking up. And #X200B, that's not what the emails from my trust say. As public record, my employer would like to point out that there has not been a shortage of PPE. There was never a shortage of PPE, and to suggest otherwise would be a falsehood. I, however, am not commenting. I would also like to point out the DA UK Doctors Association UK app for reporting PPE shortages anonymously as being a thing.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.